On January 26, 2020, sports stood still. The world was shocked to hear that Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi and 7 others had passed away in a tragic helicopter accident in California. When I personally got this news, I was at work and I remember sitting there with tears in my eyes crying because one of my legends and one of the basketball players I look up to the most passed away. Today I will be honoring Kobe's career and accomplishments. Today is a celebration of life. From the moment Kobe was drafted 13th overall in 1996 by the Charlotte Hornets, who then traded him to the Lakers for Vlade Divac, very awful trade, but it worked out because Kobe was a Laker for life. He was destined to be a star. He outworked everyone. He instilled this mentality called the Mamba mentality, which was outwork everyone, work as hard as you can, no matter what. Kobe's number one goal was to win championships and win games, and that was showed with his Mamba mentality. In only his third year in the NBA, he would win his first championship with Shaquille O'Neal, his partner in crime. They would go on to three-peat, winning in 2000, 2001, and 2002, cementing them as one of the greatest duos of all time. They also became only the third team to ever win 3 straight championships, besides the Bulls, the Minneapolis Lakers in the 60s, and the Boston Celtics. Many people will say Shaq carried Kobe to the championships. No. Shaq didn't carry Kobe. Kobe didn't carry Shaq. Both of the players were instrumental in winning these championships. Now, there was some beef between Shaq and Kobe, but that all went away on the court. Kobe and Shaq's main focus was to win games and win championships, and that was the only thing that mattered to them at this point. Even though they weren't fond of each other, when they stepped on the court, they had the same goal of winning an NBA game and trying to become one of the greatest teams of all time, winning more games. With this, Kobe would further use his Mamba mentality. Kobe once broke his right wrist, in the 90s before a season, and he then spent that summer working on only his left wrist to shoot so he would be better with his left hand. Now, any other NBA player wouldn't think to do that, but Kobe had a different mindset and he wanted to still be considered one of the greatest even after he broke his wrist. Also, after Kobe and Shaq split up, Kobe would go on and prove that he didn't necessarily need Shaq to win these rings. He would win 2 more rings in 2009 and 2010, being one away from three-peating again and then cementing himself as one of the greats, but he ended up losing in 2011. But once Kobe proved that he didn't need Shaq, that dominant force in the paint, to win, he was considered one of the greatest. That brought his ring total up to 5, which in many cases is a lot of rings. Only people on the greatest teams of all times, like Michael Jordan's Bulls, Scottie Pippen, Magic Johnson, the Lakers, Bill Russell, not many people have more than 5 rings. And Kobe is one of the few people that have 5 rings. Excuse me. Kobe wouldn't win any more rings past 2010 because he lost to the Mavericks in 2011, and then he was getting older and was becoming injured more often. So, despite not winning any more rings, he still had 5. In 2013, Kobe Bryant would go on and tear his Achilles in a game where he had to go to the line to shoot free throws. Now, like I said before, Kobe wasn't a normal player. Kobe wasn't a normal player. Kobe limped to the free throw line on a torn Achilles, and he sunk both free throws and then went to the locker room to be managed. Now, Kobe outworked everyone and was one of the hardest workers ever. He inspired so many people to continue working, and he inspired so many players NBA games today how they play. He trained Jason Tatum. He trained Devin Booker. He was a great mentor aside from being a great NBA player. The Lakers took a chance when they traded for Kobe, and it turned out to be great. The 18-year-old from Lower Merion High School in Pennsylvania would go on to win 5 NBA championships, star in 18 All-Star games, 2 times Finals MVP, 1-time MVP, 11 All-NBA first teams, and 9 NBA All-Defensive first teams. Kobe inspired many and will continue to inspire many. Aside from being a great basketball player, he most importantly is a role model to his kids and to his family. We sit here today and celebrate Kobe's life and his accomplishments. And in the words of Kobe, Mamba out and thank you.